Conversation with that healing. Know what they're missing. Show it your best friend. Tell them come here. This, yeah. Don't you tell me your blessing. Powerful lessons. True confessions. Yeah. Yeah. A power tool for you. Yeah. A power tool for you. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the PPC Radio Show. Another Wednesday. We're here with you, with Shelly Shell Williams. Hey, and today we have my sweet and wonderful, amazingly talented niece, Corinne Williams. Yay! Girl, thank you so much for coming. So I hope everybody out there is great. I think I just got the notification. I didn't get the notification yet for Facebook, so
I'm still typing your name.
okay. I'll get tagged soon enough. So anyway, we start our show every week. I don't think you've ever probably watched the show. Have you watched the show, Corinne?
I never.
Shame on you. I know
you said I never. Oh my. Oh
yeah. Even when your dad was on.
I've heard the podcast before. No, I didn't even know he was on until he told me recently. He was like, you didn't even watch the show? I was like, no, but I've heard the podcast.
Oh, okay. It's a very different experience, a podcast versus the radio show. Mm-hmm. But I understand you got some stuff to do. I get it. Okay, cool. I got us now.
You got it? Okay. Cool,
yeah, I got it.
Well, we might as well start. You may not have heard it before, and you may not have been here. So that means you get the ultimate shock of your life. So I know that's your honor up there, but it's time to do true confession. And then once you do your true confession, we have to follow suit. So yeah, just think in mind that is your aunt. So you can make it a little less tame. It could be about food, something you like to eat that nobody knows. I don't know. Or you can get it juicy. I like it. Come on, make it juicy. So just any random confession? Mm-hmm. Any random one. It could be juicy or tame, whatever. I don't even have anything juicy. I just confession. You just finished college. It gotta be something juicy. No, I don't even. Oh my gosh. You didn't do anything weird and crazy and out of the ordinary while you were in college? Not really. Okay, wait. I mean, I guess like I had a test in the morning. My friend and I, we're not supposed to take tests together, but it was online, so we were going to. So we both took a test, but like that night before we had some like margarita mix and it was really strong. And I woke up with like a hangover in the morning, but we still took the test. That's like all I've got. That's like the craziest thing that happened. I did not. Did you pass the test? Yeah, we did. We did somehow, but yeah. I haven't even done anything crazy really. I mean, that's crazy enough. You drinking in college, I guess that's crazy. Taking a test while all of those things, yeah.
Do you like alcohol, Corinne?
I used to not. Now I do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's grown on you. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, Sophie's much the same, although I think she still prefers the smoking kind of high.
Well, I've never tried before, so I might prefer that too, but I don't know.
Yeah, depends on.
Wait. You say you might prefer that too. Does that mean you're going to try it one day? I think, I will definitely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to make sure that you talk to me first, because you need to make sure if you do that, you do the right stuff. Because if you do the wrong stuff, it will be horrible. That's what happened to me for years. The first time I got high was in a hot box, and what that means is I was in someone's car and all the windows were up and they were smoking, and I was just breathing in what they were smoking, and I had a horrible experience for that. Turned turns out it was laced with hallucinogenics.
Oh.
And I was affected for years, literally for years. And so I just thought that was weed. I didn't find out until later that it wasn't just weed. It was like LSD stuff in there or whatever. And I
was this a friend of yours? Was
this was my first husband. And so it affected me in a bad way. It was like I'd be walking along and then all of a sudden I'd shift into this weird filtered world. It was really strange and it happened randomly. I don't know what triggered it, but it lasted for like 3 days. I was just so messed up. And so I didn't do anything again. And like I said, I wasn't even really doing it. I was just breathing in and it affected me that badly. So it took me until I think Sophia was 5 when I tried it again, because when I told, it was Robin and Tori, and I told them, our friends, Robin's been on the show. I told them about what happened to me. They're like, that's not weed. That's not weed. You want to smoke a weed? I'm like, huh? So I tried it with them. And I was like, oh. I was really chill and I could sleep. I don't like to be high. I rather I prefer a little drinky poo a little bit because I'm too controlling. I don't want anything controlling me, but I will do some edibles for sleep, because I don't sleep. I'm insomniac. So anyway, I guess that's my confession to add to hers. I don't have anything similar to the test thing, but the having a little, and I think I've told my hangover story. I don't need to tell it again. I'll tell you at a different time, Corinne. But I had a really bad hangover story, but I never got hungover again. That was the last time for me. What about you, Sheila?
Let me see something similar. I have never taken a test drunk, but I have taken a test with someone else to take the test, like to get my notary license. I had a lifeline. Here's the question. What's the answer? So yes, I did do that. So yeah, I had a lifeline. And that was a great lifeline. I passed 100. I wonder how that happened.
Hey, just as long as you learned it, you probably absorbed it better like that than if you would have studied it, sometimes.
I sure hope so. But I'm not going, I didn't go back. I paid for the notary thing to do it again. It was like, I don't want to do it. I should. That was a lot of money too. I should do it, but I didn't do it. But as far as edibles or any other, I have never tried the smoking ever. Never will I. I don't want it. So I love who I am. So why would I want to alter it? I'm happy. If I want to be sad, I just want to be sad. If I want to be, I don't know. I can't see it doing anything for me.
Yeah, I didn't for a long time. I had my very first drink when I was 20.
I could drink. I said the smoking.
Drugs. Oh, okay. Okay. Some people consider alcohol.
Of the edibles or the smoking of the things that you were smoking in the car. I don't.
Yeah. I'm very funny about what I put in my body, but I will tell this story. When I would hang out with Robin and Tori, it was like, I didn't do it a lot. I would see them once a week and I might do something, and it started affecting my memory a little bit. So I was like, eh. So I didn't do it for a long time. And then what happened was I got a bone spur and it was horrible. It was so bad that the podiatrist showed the entire staff in his office. She's like, look at this. It was so horrible. It was like this big under my heel and then on the side of my heel. So every step I took, I was in the most horrific pain. And the medication was not covered by my insurance for pain. And there was nothing they said they could do. So I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. I was just in horrible pain. But they made these inserts for my shoes. And they said, do this. And in 2 weeks, you'll be able to walk. I was like, okay, cool. So in 2 weeks, I went for my walk. With like halfway away from home, I was in the most intensive pain forever. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I literally stood there on the sidewalk bawling and praying. I was like, God, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't have anybody to call. I don't know what to do. And I know somebody might think I'm lying, but I'm not. I heard, look. So I looked around me, and right about a foot ahead of me on the sidewalk was a bowl, a weed bowl. And thing you smoke out of, right? Smoke weed out of. I was like, really? Are you serious? Are you sure? Is that my answer? What? So I don't even remember how I got home that day, but I got home and I called up a friend of mine that lived in California who worked with farmers. And I was like, if I can trust anybody, it's going to be her, because she's like a whiz at this stuff. She knows what it all is. They're all different. There's so many different parts of it that you can take into your body. She sent me a package, and not only did it release the pain almost down to just a dull ache, it also helped me sleep, which I hadn't done in forever. I've never been able to sleep. And so that, for me, I may not have ever done it had not that experience happened. I may not have ever proceeded with making it a regular part of my life. But that sleep tip was like crazy big for me, because I never slept before like normal person. And then the pain, and eventually, and I prayed and I imagined and I visualized and I meditated on the bone spurs dissipating. Within 2 months, they were gone. 2 months. And the podiatrist was like, I don't know how that happened. I said, I do. That was God. So anyway, that was a very long story, but it wasn't too long. I thought it was
that's all right. That's a good story. At least we know that the bowl helped you.
The bowl was given to me. I'm telling you, it was so weird. It was such a great experience. I was very thankful for it. Anyway, Corinne, you Miss Lady. If you guys didn't listen to the podcast, James, hi, hon, how are you? If you're just graduating from your undergrad and you, oh my gosh, German and international affairs, but German of all the languages you could have chosen. Explain to this audience why.
I have no idea. Like I said, I had no idea why I went with that. But so when I was going into college, I was undeclared. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to do something liberal arts, I thought. So I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna take classes. But I knew I wanted to force myself to learn a language. So in middle school, we had this large portion of this one class I was in that was over the Holocaust. And I thought, I found it really interesting learning about that. And I've always liked history and stuff. So I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to try German, because I don't know, that was the one thing I was thinking. And so I took those classes and I really, really liked it. I'm sure I would have liked learning any language, but I really liked it. And I liked how a lot of the classes would also go into the history of Germany and also World War II and things like that. So then when it came time to declare something, I still had no idea. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is really random, but I'm just going to go ahead and declare German. So I did. And that's how it happened. And then after that, I was like, let me try to do a double major, because I know this isn't going to make much sense. So I tried biology, but when you already have a major and you're a double major trying to get into biology, it is really hard to do. So then they're like, nope, we're not going to take you. So from there, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do international relations, which I was already interested in before, but I don't know why I hadn't thought of doing that. But I was like, those two go together. I applied for that one, and then I got in, thankfully. So that's how those two ended up coming together. But yeah, it was really random, for sure.
Random. Let me hear a little bit. Let me hear.
Ich weiß nicht, was ich sage sollte, aber I don't know. I just said I don't know what I should say.
There you go. I just wanted to hear you do it.
I was just expecting.
No, that's the thing. Okay, some people do sound like really crazy when they're speaking like that, but like the most that I've heard, it sounds really calm, and especially like there are a ton of different dialects and things, so like it can sound really like like Scandinavian almost sounding. It just really depends on where people come from, I guess. It's really interesting.
It's kind of like English. It sounds so many different ways depending on what region you're in or what country you're in. English, I mean, like there's like when I lived in Singapore, I realized, oh my God, these people are speaking English and I can't understand a word they're saying. But it took time, but I finally, like within a month, I understood what they were saying. You know, it just took time for my ear to be trained for it. Are you thinking ever gonna consider adding any more languages?
Yeah, so my boyfriend is Turkish, so I'm thinking I'm gonna add that one on. I've tried learning a bit, so yeah, probably.
Oh, your boyfriend is Turkish.
Your boyfriend is Turkish.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, didn't you meet him in Austria?
Yeah, so he's Austrian. He says he's Austrian with Turkish roots. Basically, his whole family grew up in Turkey and then they moved to Austria. And he was born in Austria, but yeah, his family's Turkish.
Okay, all right. Oh, I can't wait to see
that's definitely
pictures.
International. International affairs. Listen,
international relationship.
Yeah, we're gonna make it all in the fam here. What?
That's so cool. It's interesting. I mean, of the kids in your generation in our family, besides, well, I guess not everybody, but it seems like folks are like moving out, you know, like you said, you got a Turkish boyfriend and I know KK, our Frederick's daughter, she's dating, I can't remember which Asian land he's from, but he's from Asia. And we're really trying to mix it up in the hall.
Could you see yourself moving to any of those foreign countries?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, in May or June, I'm actually moving to Vienna, Austria yeah.
Wow. So are you gonna go to school there?
Yep, yeah. Gonna get a graduate degree there. Hopefully. Yeah.
In what though? In the same international studies or?
I'm trying right now to get a graduate degree in business analytics just because like I want to work somewhere where I can work remote, and I know that you can work from anywhere doing like business analytics. It's kind of like coding but business, and that's really the only reason I'm interested in it. But otherwise I might try like more international relation type stuff as well, because I may not get into that program. So I'm also looking at international relations programs as well.
And so I know you're saying that you didn't know what you want to do, but do you have like a passion? You know how like Cinda is, you know, she's gonna be a singer, and she no matter what, like this is what she does. I'm gonna sing and I'm gonna act. I love this. Is what I'm do. You have one of those things that is like your passion?
Okay, well, I think language, and I have always loved learning about culture. So I guess that is my passion, kind of, especially languages. I love learning languages, although like I never really followed through. That's why I had to force myself to learn German by taking classes. But yeah, I think language. And also I want to help people, like especially how, I mean, the world is just like in shambles today. Like I want to do something to help. So, I mean, my dream job would be working with the UN, I think, which is also headquartered. One of the headquarters is in Vienna. So I'm trying to hopefully find a way in there.
I think you're going to do it.
Wow, that's nice. Help the folks in the UN. Whoa.
Whoa. Wow. So how does mom and dad feel about their baby moving so far away? I'm tripping on Sophia in California. So how are they about that? I mean, I'm sure they're supportive, but how do they really feel?
Yeah, That's actually the really funny thing. So like in regards to like everything recently and growing up, it's been switched. It's been the opposite of what I thought. So like even regarding like my boyfriend, regarding moving far away, I thought my dad would be like tripping and my mom would just be like whatever. It's the complete opposite. My dad is like totally chill, fine with everything. And my mom is the one who is literally freaking out. She'll once in a while be like, wow, I can't believe you're gonna move so far away. Like she's just like, I'm gonna miss you. And like at first she was, it was taking her some time to come to terms with the idea. But now she's okay with it. She especially likes the idea that like I'm gonna be trying to get a master's degree. So but yeah. Yeah,
You guys are so close. I mean,
Mhm.
you four are the unit. Yeah, because you kind of alienated from the family because you're in Texas versus Indiana or Chicago. You've always just been you guys and the doggies,
Right.
you all the dogs, and we'd see you a couple times a year. Sophie and I try to get there as much as we could because you're our favorite people and we just want to be around you. But that's gonna change the
That's
dynamic.
gonna change a whole lot. Are you really like, how do you really feel? Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to move. That's just me. How do you really feel? Like, oh, you can't reach out and touch somebody's hand. Like, you can't. It's like
That's the thing. So I actually did a study abroad in Austria this past May / June. And I was really dreading going just because I have like a lot of anxiety, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do this. Go with all these random people I don't know. I mean, they all went to my school, but like I did not know them well. And I got on some anxiety medication, which actually really helped. And so I actually really started like wanting to go at that point. And when I got there, literally my mom and I were talking about this yesterday. I had to look up in my text message receipts. I had to find where this was, but literally 5 days within being there, I was texting my friends and I was like, you guys, we need to come to Austria. You guys need to come live here with me. I was like, I fell in love with it so quickly. And I just knew that I wanted to come back and live. I just wanted to try living there for like at least a year or something. But like Austria is so, really just Vienna, the city is amazing. It's like, even recently, I think this year, it is the #1 city in the world to live. It is just
really
so amazing. It's so green. They really care about their people there. People live in social housing, so the housing is subsidized for everybody. It's almost like I feel like it's the closest thing to like a socialist like city that we have, because like, I mean, everybody makes about the same amount of money. That's actually one of the things I'm kind of concerned about, actually, because like even doctors there make like way lower than in America, but like I don't know, it's a great city. I really love it.
the cost of living isn't high, so it doesn't matter what you make. So
Exactly.
it'll all even out.
So that experiment, socialism, has worked.
You getting a two-way ticket or one-way?
I would say, I mean, it's not real socialism, but like it's the closest thing. I feel like, I don't know. Yeah. But the thing is, they also do take out like they have a lot of taxes because they're trying to help people, but like it's crazy. I think it's like a third of your paycheck that they're taking out or something. Yeah, it's crazy.
But if they're subsidizing your housing and they're
right.
Subsidizing this way and that, and they have these services, you don't need to make, unless you're just the type of person that that needs. I mean, there are people, it always amazes me. I was like, if I'm ever blessed, if I have that kind of prosperity, financial prosperity, I have no desire to go buy 10 houses. I mean, I really don't. Unless I'm renting them out and it's for financial, legacy building, that I get. But I know people, and I've been in these homes where they're buying houses at 20,000 square feet houses, and it's just them and nobody's there. And it's such a huge footprint. You have the money, but why? What's the need? I mean, I'm trying to clean up a 1-bedroom apartment. How the heck I mean, I guess if you have that, you can afford
You can afford a maid. You can afford what you need.
Shoot, not a maid for some of these houses. You need maids, a service to come in and keep it clean, and then nobody's ever in there. You know, it's I see the right thinking in that. So are there people of color, other people? I mean, Black folks are everywhere, but what's the community of? Is it a lot of Africans? What's that?
That is actually one of the things that like I don't like about Vienna. Like, I mean, there aren't that many things I don't like, but the diversity, it is just not there at all. I mean, it's diversity, but the thing is the people are tourists. So like when you're walking around, you may see like Black people, Asian people, but like they're not from there and they'll be gone soon. And like even then, I didn't see that many Black people at all. Actually, I was with some Asian girls there, and like we were like counting anytime we would see anybody. It's mainly white people. And the thing is too, Vienna is known for being very xenophobic, actually. So the people there, like, they don't like outsiders. Like, I actually, this one thing happened to me where me and like 4 other girls, most of us different ethnicities, like most of us not white, I think there was one white girl, we went into this bar right across the street from our apartment, and it was really weird. As soon as we walked in, it was all like older men, they were all white, and this older white lady, and we sat down, and then like I had to order for everybody because the lady was only speaking German to us. And I was like, oh, we just want some drinks. Like, we didn't want any food, we just wanted drinks. And she was like handing us the menu, and she was like, oh no, we don't have any drinks here. But like all the guys were drinking and the menu had drinks. And I was like, what? We just want some drinks. And then like she was like, no, we don't have any drinks. She literally stood me up and started pushing me out of the restaurant and started pushing all the girls out of the restaurant. It was so odd, but like that was like definitely the one I feel racist experience I had there. But like supposedly it's not very friendly for foreigners. I think it's getting friendlier though, because I know there are different places where more Asians are starting to live, more Africans are starting to live, but like, yeah, it's known for being pretty xenophobic. So that's also a negative thing.
But still made you want to move there, even though you went through that. Like seriously,
yeah.
like oh.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know, when that happened, I was pretty mad, but like, I don't know, overall the whole city, just, I don't know, being in nature, I just loved it so much. That is something I'll have to get used to. Although I do think speaking German, I think it
helps.
Yeah, like I think it's kind of like how French people are very rude to people who don't speak French. I think it's that kind of thing. I don't even think it really has to do with race that much, although I'm sure it does have to do with race to a degree. But yeah, I just know that they're very prideful of, in fact, Austria is so prideful of like their country that they don't even like to say really that like it's German. It's Austrian German, which they feel is different than German. They actually hate the Germans, which is really weird because it's basically like the same thing. But like they will say like, no, I'm Austrian, and they'll get offended if you say they're German or anything like that. It's
yeah,
really
that was like in Puerto Rico. I remember, I'll never forget. I found out there that Black people are only called Black people in the United States.
Oh,
We're not, it's nowhere else. If you call an African Black, they are extremely offended. I am not Black. I'm African, or I'm Nigerian, or I'm Ethiopian, or I'm Somalian, or whatever. And the same with Asia, and the same, they're very prideful of their nation and their culture. And they get offended if you compare them, but this whole Black thing has become an identity for us. And we always thought it was people that had melanin, and that's not the case. It's American Blacks. When I was in Puerto Rico, I remember I met all kinds of Puerto Ricans. They were different shades. They were white ones, every color. And they talked to me about that. They were like, we are not Black. We are Puerto Rican. We're all Puerto Rican, no matter what color we are. Now, I also did find out that there is still that schism, that racism, you know, that has to do with that melanin, but they just don't, they claim they're, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, or I'm Colombian, or I'm whatever. As a matter of fact, I recently learned in the 1600s is when this whole notion of black and white and all this kind of stuff came about, that didn't exist. You were whatever nation you were from, that's what you were. So if you did learn any other languages, which would be your next choice?
Turkish.
That's right, Turkish.
Maybe after that, like I think it would be really cool to learn because like Nigeria has so many problems governmentally and everything like that. I think Yoruba might be interesting to learn too, because I think that'd be like a great place to try to help out.
You're gonna help. You're gonna dedicate your life to help.
Hopefully, yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah, that's you.
So you don't want to learn a typical language like Spanish and French, huh? That's just too typical, right?
Okay, I guess you know what, I'd like to learn all the languages. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully I can learn a little bit of Spanish and French. Actually, in middle school, we actually had to take a language, and Spanish was the language that we took. And I found Spanish so boring. I don't know why. Like, my dad speaks Spanish, and I just always heard it at home. And I was like, it was too easy. The first class, at least the second class was way harder. But like, I think just having that experience where I already knew all the stuff in that first class made me like not want to learn it. Although I do love Spanish. I think it's a beautiful language. I should learn it because, especially being here in Texas, there are so many Spanish speakers. It's a really good language to know. So hopefully I will learn it.
It is a good language to know, especially here in America.
Right.
Yeah, but you're not intending on being here, so it doesn't. But you know, it seems like it would be smart if you get your master's there, then you will really know. You know, because it won't be a short-term in and out kind of thing. It'll be living there for at least 2 years. I'm not sure how long the master's program is, 2 to 3 years, to really dive deep into the culture and all that kind of stuff. And I do know this, most countries have expats, you know, expatriates, you know, and they have groups. So when I was in Singapore, I was researching groups of people. They had groups for women of color, and so that might be something you want to check into, just because they might be able to guide you away from those kind of circumstances, unless you just want to experience being rejected like that, which is cool because it's a different kind of experience. But most places have expat communities that come together and they share information. This is where you can go. They'll treat you with respect and love and blah, blah, blah. And this is where you should stay away from, because they cannot move past, you know, this ancient time of just them. And so I would research that while I can't remember. You just have to type in Google, you know, and say groups, African-American or African or people of African descent groups. And that way you can at least know some people, because they're there. You just don't see them because they stay together for the most part. They don't spread out and go. When I lived in Singapore, I thought it was just the Singaporeans, you know, which is a lot of Indians, Chinese, there's all different kind of folks that live there. But there was a huge community of Black people. I found out eventually. So it just takes a little bit of research. And
were they Black people or were they African?
They were both. There were African, there were Black folks from here, and then there were Africans from all over Africa. And it was so fun because, again, that's a whole bunch of different cultures you're learning about. And so I'm sure a place like that they probably have groups. So it'll be, I know you're not a group person, but it might be information, you know, information that can help you. And who knows, you might make some other friends besides the Austrian friends you've already made.
Right.
So I think
You
that's cool.
you're not a group. You're not a group. You don't like group. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more of I'm more introverted. Yeah.
Are we all
Another-
introverted? What is this?
Mhm.
The introverted? Well, everybody's introverted.
I
God.
think creative people tend to be. I think really creative people, they're in their head a lot, and so they're creating all the time, and so they tend not to want to be around distractions, too many distractions. And I mean, I know Shelley can turn it on, I can turn it on, and I think you're moving towards the ability to turn it on, meaning turning on that extrovert gene if you need it.
Mhm.
But what your true nature is to be with small groups,
Right.
or my next podcast is about that, because Sophia came on. Oh yeah, she kicked my ass on the show. Oh, excuse my language. She was brutally honest about some stuff. Oh my God.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's gonna be deep. She didn't hold back, and I told her not to. I said,
Okay.
pretend you're not talking to me and tell the truth about whatever it is you want to talk about. And she did. And it's all about connecting to people. And she took responsibility for herself too, but I think that creative people, we just tend to be so connected to our art, so connected to a spirit, that we feel comfortable there. And speaking of that, music. You mentioned passion, that wasn't even mentioned, and that's been a part of your life for most of your life. So is it just for fun that you do it?
Okay, here's the weird thing. So it has always been a passion of mine, but like it's sadly, I feel like it's starting to go away as my passion, and I don't know why that is. I almost wish I almost wish it wasn't happening, because it's really weird. I used to actually, like, this sounds terrible, but I used to actually pray that it would go away, because it felt like just something I couldn't do, and like something that I knew would like be causing me pain, because I wanted to do music, but like I didn't feel like I could do it. And I was like, please just take this away. My life would be so much easier if I didn't want to do it. And now it's going away, and it's kind of scaring me.
Oh, because you're getting what you prayed for.
Yes.
We know that words have power. Prayer imparts. You pray for something that. No.
Exactly. No, that's the thing, and it's scaring me, and it's like, dang. I don't know. I think I really don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the future looks like. I think I'm still gonna try to, pursue music, but I'm gonna be doing other stuff too, and just see what happens, I guess.
So did you think that music wasn't going to be something that you do for a living? Is that why you didn't want to?
Yes, yeah.
Because you thought that was like a waste. Like, oh, this is my passion, but it's a waste of time. It's not going to create my living that I want. Is that what you were thinking?
Well, I hoped it would create a living. Like, I was like in my head, oh, that'd be great if I could do that. But then, yeah, I think as time went on, and just like I hadn't even been doing anything with music until like recently. So I was like, this isn't real. Especially since like I was like, if I want to do music, I need to go to school for music, which of course isn't the case, but I wanted to go to school for music. And when I ended up not doing that, I was like, ugh, like, yeah. I think this is gonna be for fun, that kind of thing.
I mean, oh my goodness, but it sounds like you want to do it, but you were missing the belief. Like it's almost like the limiting beliefs. It's not like it's like you have it, but your limiting beliefs are keeping you from doing it.
100%. Yeah, that was the case. It was my limit. Yeah, it was my belief.
So,
which is upsetting, but yeah, it's true.
But don't we all know that dream deferred makes the heart sick? So that means somewhere in there you have to believe that regardless of the living that we can make, whether it's all about money, shouldn't you do it just based off just the fact that, you know what, I just want to do it, and if it does make money, or if I do, or maybe I'll take this road and I'll just do independent.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to marry music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have that kind of. I haven't married music. And it is a passion of mine. I love it. But when I got introduced back in the day, a long time ago, to that world before independent was so a part of the culture now, you can do this on your own. You can do it with how you want to do it, when you want to do it. It was not like that. And it was a very dark world. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to be talking about drugs and all kind of temptations and a lot of people falling into lifestyles that they barely survive. I didn't want that. You know what I mean? I just didn't want that. You look at all these phenomenal, like look at Whitney. I mean, there's just so many the great singers that got caught up and so I decided I'll just sing for the love of it. And if I ever, do it, I do it. But my bread and butter was acting for the longest time. And so, you're practical. Your dad did the same thing. Let me just be real. Your dad did the same thing. Your dad is a freaking awesome actor. And when he came to LA, he had already taken, studied for the bar, went to law school because daddy wanted him to do it, and then he wanted to do it. He wanted to help people just like you. And he walked away from something that he was amazing at, but he found his way back. He acts now on his terms, unfortunately his job is kind of crazy right now, but when he can do a movie, he does a movie. When he can do a play, he can do a play. He uses the gifts that he was given. One of your gifts is music, but it doesn't have to be your complete and total life. It can just be your passion along with your languages and make your living and do that also. But I mean, obviously there's no pressure to do anything. Right. You don't have to do anything. There's many wonderful creatives out there that chose a different path. But if it feels like a piece of you is missing, that's when you need to do something about it.
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So, I mean, if I was you, this is just me. If I was you and I had your freaking talent, you can play the piano like nobody can play percussionist. I would find myself in Austria studying for my master's, and I would tell boyfriend, hey, help me hook up with some performers. And I would write and perform and, in some bars. And that's what I did. I just I was in bands and I would perform in bars and I would get that piece out and then I would go do a movie, go do whatever, you know what I'm saying? That way, that part of me was fulfilled and who knows who I was touching. And the same with you. You touch people. If you can make Sofia Gabrielle burst out in tears, you're just not, you don't know who you are when it comes to your gift. You know who you are when it comes to some things, but you do not know who you are when it comes to that voice and to what you do on that piano. I used to sit there and listen to you practice on the piano, and I was just like, oh my God, I feel the energy move. I feel a connection to God when you play. And God gives the gifts for a reason. That they're not for us all the time. They are for us, but they're also for those that you touch with those gifts. And you don't have to depend on it for your living and get caught up in the loss, but you can take that gift and share it in minimal ways. Be fed by it, feed others, but then do all these other beautiful things that you love to do. I
think he's just been taught so often, the living. And I just get it in our brain. You gotta make a living. But really, it can make you a living if you figure out the way to do it. Maybe you make your own songs and like people making millions of dollars, per stream. I know streaming is not as, you get a cent or something per stream, but imagine if millions across the world and streamed or imagine if you did a YouTube channel. And I'm really into this thing, but I really see the possibilities now. Like, what if you did your own YouTube channel and you did your songs and people came over and you get all the likes and you start getting it. I mean, it is so many ways now on this earth to make money and still do international affairs. International affairs, and then learn all your languages You know what I mean?
And you might even learn how to sing in those languages. I mean, you're
True, yeah.
classically trained, so you already know how to sing in Italian. You already know how to sing in German. You already know how to sing, in all these different languages. You could, maybe that's a part of your what you can do, because I'm guaranteeing you those people over there that you say are so much more qualified than you are not qualified like you in so many other ways. You see what I'm saying? I mean, your gifts vary. You're not just one thing. You have a whole bunch. And well, how many streams of income do they say you need to have to really prosper? 7 streams
of income.
Mhm.
And that they
Yes.
say, I was thinking
my
about that.
God.
I was thinking about that as I was driving home. I don't know. Like I said, I was lost for an hour. So I was sitting there thinking 7 streams of income will make this. Do you really need 7 streams of income, or do you need some good ones that have some good potential? You know what I mean? Imagine. I was thinking how dizzy I am. I do this, and I was like, I'm really dizzy. So if you find the one, what if you became a YouTube sensation? And it sounds crazy, but there are people make it that are millionaires just by showing their talent on YouTube. Millionaires. Then and it's not just because YouTube pays you, but it's brand deals, it's this deals, and then you get discovered, and it can happen.
And you don't, and you could, even if you got discovered, if that's not what you wanted to do, if you want to just keep doing what you're doing, you're right in your bedroom, playing the piano on the keyboard and singing a song, making millions, and at the embassy.
And at the embassy.
And at the embassy.
And then you could tell people, then people be like, I saw you. Or in German, right?
And believe me, my experience has been the more you use your talents, like for instance, me, I'm really good like with management, right? And stuff like that. Every job I've ever had, they want to hire me on. They want me to be manager. So that's something I can do. I sing, I act, I'll do all that kind of stuff. That's something I can do. I'm a interior decorator. I've done that for money. I'm really good with dealing with children. I've done that for money. I'm really good with dealing with elders. I do that for money. There's just and not for money. Money's energy, right? Money is just energy. It's not a real thing. We could burn that crap up in a chimney somewhere, right? It's just an energy exchange. And it's because sometimes life takes us in different directions. For the longest time, it was all about writing a book for me. It wasn't about acting. I left acting to raise Sophia, and I still needed to be creative. So I wrote a book, and I'm not rich from it, but that's a huge gift to the people that read it, that receive from it. I want to read some of these messages that have been coming in, but this conversation has been so awesome. I haven't. Hi, William. He says, hi, William Nelson.
Hi, William
Nelson. James says, that's so cool. I wish you all the success in the world. Brian says he's also introverted. This is Brian Pugsley. He's also been on the show. Hi. James said, don't give up on the music. I heard your song on Cinda's podcast, and you have a gift. If you guys haven't heard her, check her out. Vertigo Corinne. She's on all streaming platforms. Please go buy her stuff and listen. And then he said, your song would be a huge success in Europe. And I thought the same thing. Your audience may not be here.
So you're not going to be here either anyway.
So many huge success stories with people like us, Black people, meaning Black Americans, are masters in Europe, in Asia, and all other parts of the world, because they have a different taste than people here. Although I think yours can cross over. But Austria might be the perfect place for you also to really do that thing. And it doesn't have to take up your life. Just make it a small part of your life. This feels like an intervention. But
no, but you know what though? I feel like it's this. You know how like there's people who go to school and they play football, they play sports, whatever, and they rely on it. It's like they feel like they can't get out of the ghetto, they can't get out of where they go unless they do this. If that don't have to be your struggle, you know what I mean? You don't have that same struggle. You could just do it as just who you are and what you are. You know what I mean? It's a different type of struggle than the people have. I gotta sing and I gotta rap because I gotta make it out of the hood. I gotta make it out of this place. I gotta make it. It is all I have. You got so much more that you'll be free. I just say let's talk about it. It's just freedom. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy the freedom in loving what you do. Oh, you said William Nelson. Happy birthday, William Nelson. I forgot to yeah, I forgot I was going to share the picture and then the days got away from me. So if you are still watching, bro, I am so sorry. Happy birthday. And I'm really good at it. I'm really good at this person.
Yeah, there's been a few. I didn't realize how many Sages I knew. I did not know I knew so many, and I really, every one of them are awesome people. Matter of fact, Gus and Garibaldi's birthday just passed.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! And I don't know. There's a bunch of people.
I missed that one
too. China Berry, got to mention her birthday. She's a really good friend. There's a whole bunch of birthdays that this month, along with the holidays. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool. So okay. So now you're trying to get like a job. You're trying to just get a job to set you over until you confirm everything. So are you moving to Austria if you get in a master's program right away or not?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll try to find a job over there if I don't get into a master's program immediately, just to get some work experience and then maybe go back. But yeah. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't even want to get a master's. It's just that I don't know what I'm doing. So a lot of times people just go back to school because they don't know what they're doing. So yeah. And I'm like,
so it's not even something, once again, it's not something you want to do. It's not your passion. And you just going with the flow because that's what they say you have to do until
you're practical. But one thing at least you do know is you want to go to Austria.
Yes.
So no matter what, if you're meant to have a master's degree, it'll happen for you. You know what I mean? Or maybe it'll happen, you get in there and you hate it and you quit. That's okay. You can do that. Your main thing is being in Austria, and I have a feeling your Turkish boyfriend might have something to do with that too.
Turkish boyfriend. He's just gonna be Turkish boyfriend.
What's his name, Corinne?
It's Kemal.
Kemal?
Kemal.
Okay, Kemal. Yeah, that's. I dated a Turkish guy, Fadil, so I know about that. Yeah.
Is that right?
Long time ago, when I was your age, Corinne. Right your age, I dated he was half Egyptian and half Turkish. Fadil Shukri. Yep. And I met his family, and they're like, if you're going to be with an American, let them be her. She looks like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You could be Turkish. You could very easily be Turkish or Egyptian. Are they Muslim?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Are they the kind of Muslims that have to cover up, wear the hair, garb, and all that?
No.
Okay, they're I can't remember the word. They're not traditionalists.
And honestly, he is not even, like, his family is more so more traditional than him. He's like, I'm like, okay, so you're Muslim, and he's like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. He basically he doesn't do the 5 prayers a day kind of thing, like that.
And he doesn't eat pork. So he went all kind of Muslims. I know them. I know.
So you met him in school here in Texas?
No. I met him on a dating app in Austria.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, now let's talk about dating apps. Okay, what? So you're in Austria, you like, hey, we're here, I'm with my friends. But while I'm over here, I'm gonna find somebody to chill out with.
That's the thing. I didn't even think of doing that until these other girls in my group had been on dating apps and they were going on dates. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. And it's really funny too, because I had set up 3 other dates with 3 other guys. And I don't know what it is about me, but I get nervous. So I'd set up these dates with these guys and I was like, oh, never mind. I actually have something to do. And I said that 3 times before Kemal. And then for some reason, I don't know why, but when we were talking, he was just so forward and I think he was like, I want to meet you. And he didn't even give me the choice basically to be like, no. I mean, he didn't, it wasn't like that. But he was just basically like, I want to meet you. Do you want to go for a walk or do you want to go hiking? And like, he didn't even, it was just like, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? And like, I was like, okay, I'm going to go out.
Introverts need that.
Hold on. Think about this. Think about what you just said. He said, you want to go for a walk or you want to go hiking? So I don't know you. I'm on a date nap. Do you want to kill me in the park or do you want to kill me in the woods? Which one? Pick your pick.
And that's
all that.
I chose to go on a walk in a public park. And I was like, okay, this is yeah. And so yeah, but for some reason he was the one guy that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go on a date and see what happens. And then yeah.
So I know this because I know you. You nor Connor have not had a whole lot of experience.
No, he's my first boyfriend, the first boy I've ever even like never even had a relationship at all, any type. Yeah.
Your first boyfriend. Wow, that's pretty interesting. And he was a whole different country.
Yes,
I think that's probably why you like him. That's great.
He's part of the international affairs. Let me figure out this.
I'm happy for you. I just want to meet dude. I know he's coming in. I want to Zoom. I want to Zoom.
He's coming in here, like the America.
America. Yeah, it's gonna be his first time here.
Oh,
so we're setting up a Zoom meet. I want to meet dude. I also want to meet Connor's boyfriend. My poor brother, he had such an easy time with you guys. You guys were so easy, and now all of a sudden, men
at the same time.
Men can really men are interesting.
Hassan was tripping. It was cracking me up. I was like, Hassan, you were lucky. You don't have to deal like I did with your child, like pretending like she wasn't doing nothing, but really doing something in middle school and high school. Sophia was she likes boys, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't like y'all. You all do too, but y'all just had a different upbringing, different life. But anyway, it is time to wrap it up. We are at 11:57. Thank you, everyone that has listened in. Golly, one more radio show in the season, and that's next Wednesday. Wow. This year went fast. It was a hard year, but it went fast. So Corinne, tell everybody if they want to support you, and we're going to assume you're going to keep on doing that music somehow. How can they hear your music and follow you?
Okay, so my song is Vertigo. It's on all streaming platforms. It's under the name Corinne. That's Corinne, spaced out, space between each letter. And you can follow me on Instagram at Corinne Music Official as well. And yeah, I would really I'm thankful for the support. Yeah.
All right. Yay. Shelly, you got something going on?
Yeah. This Sunday, toy giveaway. So if you're in the Philadelphia area and you know someone whose kids need toys, you can go to my page and there's a link and you can sign up and register to get toys. We've got a lot of toys for the little kiddies. So, go to my page, follow me on Instagram at Shelly Show Williams. But yeah, it's toy time. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I talked to DJ Cadisco today. And he sounds so much better. He might be our first guest back because he has some stuff to say. He wants to talk about his experience in the hospital. And he's been in the hospital, but he's getting out today. And he might even be with us next week on the show. He's going to, if he feels up to it, he's going to come on to our final show of the season. This is our third season coming to an end. I cannot believe it.
I can't believe it. This everything just feels like it's accelerated. Like life is just maybe it's just us. Do you feel like that, Corinne?
Yeah, I do. It's gone by really quickly.
Okay. I thought it could have been a difference in generation. Like
no.
And everybody, please check out my podcast this week. It's also the final podcast of the season with my daughter, Sophia Gabrielle. She's coming on, and it's some real talk, a little bit of Christmas, but mainly talking about a subject matter that I think is so important, especially for parents, that are dealing with their children, growing up, and the thoughts that they have and the ways that they feel that they really don't express that often. Because if they did, you wouldn't have those issues. So I was very happy to have her, and she'll be on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and other platforms. Check out my pages, Cinda Williams, at Cinda Will on Instagram, and also check out my TikTok walks and talks, walking meditations and showbiz. All right, I love you all. Thank you, and thank you, Corinne. You were awesome.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.